allegedly, Haitians are going around and taking people's pets and eating them. The duck pond in a local park is being picked clean. So allegedly, you have Haitians in this town of Springfield, Ohio, that are going by and eating ducks.
These claims are unfounded. And we're gonna get to how these rumors started spreading, what the truth is behind these rumors, and more. So let's begin by noting that it's not just Charlie Kirk, but even vice presidential nominee JD Vance is spreading these fear-mongery rumors about Haitian migrants stealing people's pets and eating them. But again, to reiterate, it is not true. Now today, JD Vance posted on X months ago, I raised the issue of Haitian illegal immigrants draining social services and generally causing chaos all over Springfield, Ohio. Reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. Where is our border czar? And when he says that, of course, he is referring to Kamala Harris. And it's, to me, pretty obvious that this made up claim is being used to attack Kamala Harris for political purposes. But in doing so, what the Republicans are doing is discrediting themselves when it does come to legitimate issues of immigration. We're gonna get to that in just a minute. Now, what are they talking about? Well, the claim that Haitian immigrants were abducting and consuming pets appears to have begun with some right-wing accounts that amplified a report about a local woman by the name of Alexis Telia Farrell, who was arrested in August for killing and eating a cat. But no evidence linked her to being a Haitian or a migrant. Okay, she appears to just be a woman in America who has a severe mental health issue, and she did end up getting arrested. But right-wing figures like Ian Miles Chong, who is not an American but likes to engage in divisive rhetoric that leads Americans to fight with one another, weighed in on this, and he spread the lie anyway. As you can see in this exchange, one person writes drugs, like wondering if the woman did what she did because of drugs, and he said worse, Haitians.
Brother, you're not even an American, man. Talking about, these Haitians, immigrants are the real problem. The mother effers in Malaysia spreading lies about what's going on here. So what business is it of yours? Why don't you just go deal with your own country and leave us alone? Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
So the rumor may also have originated from an unsubstantiated post in a Springfield Facebook group. The original poster did not cite firsthand knowledge of an incident. Instead, they claimed that their neighbor's daughter's friend had lost her cat and found it hanging from a branch at a Haitian neighbor's home, being carved up to be eaten. Now, there's no evidence to be found indicating that someone in Springfield, Ohio did this. In fact, the Springfield Police Division said Monday morning, meaning today, that they have received no reports in Springfield, Ohio, that someone had stolen someone else's cat to eat them. And Springfield Police Investigations Commander Mike Krantz told Forbes that there have been no credible reports or specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. In fact, the woman arrested for eating the cat was arrested in a different Ohio town about 100 miles northeast of Springfield, and that was the woman I was referring to earlier, who is not a migrant and is not Haitian. Now, the last bit of evidence some people are citing is this video that you're about to watch. So this took place at a Springfield City Commission meeting last month, alleging that he saw a migrant decapitate a duck. Let's watch.
These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them.
So we should note that the man you just heard from is local resident Anthony Harris, who is also allegedly running for mayor of Clark County. According to the Washington Post, the guy carrying the goose, by the way, was photographed in Columbus a month ago and is not obviously an immigrant from Haiti, much less one from Springfield. Nonetheless, right-wingers are running with this whole narrative, including Elon Musk and the official Republican House Judiciary Committee X page. So here's Elon Musk posting about it. That's an AI generated image of Trump hugging a kitten.
You have to clarify because MAGA might believe it.
No, but like that image is hilarious. And then you also have this from Ted Cruz. Please vote for Trump so Haitian immigrants don't eat us. So look, this is obviously disgusting and stupid. And if Republicans want people to take their legitimate claims about migrants seriously, they should probably avoid discrediting themselves with nonsense like this.
Yeah, look, guys, if you can't tell that that's not true, I'm not gonna be able to help you. So let me address the people who are frustrated by this, right? So when you see a story like this, all of the red flags should be going off in your head like, really? Really? There's people in Ohio kidnapping pets and eating them? That is a very unlikely story. Now, if you said that, this is to we often criticize Democrats, but here, especially for Democratic voters, they're better than this. Sorry, Republican voters, you can go cry about it, okay? But if you told Democratic voters, MAGA guys are kidnapping cats and eating them, they wouldn't believe it. They'd say, really? Really? Where's your source on that, okay? You tell MAGA guys that, oh, scary immigrants are kidnapping cats and dogs and eating them. They're like, oh yeah, obviously, I don't need any evidence. Oh, I saw one thing. Oh, I saw some woman, no evidence that she's Haitian at all, because it turns out she isn't. And she did one crazy thing. Oh, it's all Haitians, it's all immigrants, I hate them all. I instantly believe it. Because it only takes one thing to confirm your bias. It takes dozens and dozens of pieces of evidence to unseat a bias. But if you already have a bias, it only takes one thing for you to go, oh yeah, oh definitely. I hate these immigrants. I bet they're eating my cat and dog. So look, that's why it spreads like wildfire. It's insanity. The fact that they can't tell that that's insanity is really sad. And then the demagoguery. Oh, the immigrants. Look, guys, we have issues with immigrants. We point them out on the show, and the leftists hate us for it, right? How dare you say that immigrants have any problems? They're all angels. Of course not, they're human beings. There's a range. But if you come with a deranged lunatic conspiracy theory like this, then, and to Anna's point, nobody's gonna believe you about anything that immigrants do. Like we're trying to have a rational discussion here, guys. What should be our immigration policy? What is the humane thing to do? What is the best thing to do to protect Americans, to have a real process, etc. And instead, we got one side saying, no, every immigrant's an angel, we shouldn't do anything, etc. The other side saying, oh, they all eat cats and dogs. Now, we're stuck in the middle with you guys. So like, come on, how could you not tell that's crazy and wrong? All right.
We gotta get to a point where members of both sides of the political aisle find a way to tether themselves to reality.
Yes.
Because if you don't agree on what the issues actually are, you will never find a solution. And that's the reason why things continue to devolve in America. And Cenk, look, I don't want to get into a qualitative debate analysis right now about which voters are the best. But I mean, you can provide mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence to some Democratic voters, and they will reject it if the mountain of evidence that you're providing them agrees with something that the right wing believes. But guys, we have to be receptive to reality and to the receipts, to the facts. In this case, there are no facts. There is no evidence to back up these claims being made by Republicans. And when they make these types of claims, not only does it direct all sorts of hatred toward people that they're smearing, right? I mean, think about what they're saying about Haitians as a whole here. But it also leads to people who might be receptive to their arguments, discrediting them entirely, because why would you believe anything that comes out of Ted Cruz's mouth if he's spreading this lie? Why would you believe anything coming out of JD Vance's mouth if he's spreading this lie?
So look, Anna, you could say, hey, maybe you could tell an outrageous lie that Democrats would believe if it suited their purposes. It wouldn't be this one, it would be a different one. Like Biden is not too old. He's young and dynamic behind the scenes.
Dianne Feinstein.
He's totally fine. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, right before she died. Okay, but so I hear you on all that, and that's what we fight against all day. But guys, look, if you don't want people to think you're an unhinged lunatic, don't spread unhinged lunatic conspiracy theories. It's not that complicated. But in this case, this is so above and beyond anything else that it takes extraordinary evidence. So that you look into it for 1 second and the cops say there's been no reports of that. That should end it for you. But no, JD Vance and Ted Cruz, that's the vice presidential candidate and a senator spreading utter nonsense. And remember, they're not a rando online that saw one video and didn't see any context and believed it. They know it's a lie. They know with great certainty that it's a lie.
Exactly.
And they spread that lunatic stuff anyway because they want you to hate immigrants.
And I also want to talk about the specific location that they decided to spread this lie in. This, this defamatory claim that will direct hatred toward a very specific group of people. So they're talking about Springfield, Ohio, right? And it is true that that community has been grappling with an influx of migrants coming in with the limited resources that they have. So tensions are already high. And then you throw this kind of defamatory fuel on the fire. And what do you think is gonna happen? So it's not only a lie, it's not only wrong, but it also creates conflict where people could potentially get hurt, while also leading to no solutions about the actual issues at play here, right? So let's talk about what those issues are. So as I mentioned, there have been some tensions growing in Springfield, Ohio, because of an influx of Haitian migrants. A Biden administration policy provided temporary protected status to hundreds of thousands of Haitian immigrants, or migrants, I should say, who have left their home country because of ongoing violence. Some estimates say as many as 20,000 people from Haiti have come to the city. The speed and volume of arrivals have put pressure on housing, schools, and hospitals. The community health clinic saw a 13-fold increase in Haitian patients between 2021 and 2023, from 115 to 1,500, overwhelming its staff and budget. So that is real. That is a real issue. And if you want to find a solution to that issue, that's where we should be having the conversation. But demagoguing and smearing people for a political victory here is just a really sick and gross way to go about it. And it's not really finding solutions for anything. And then, by the way, at the same time, the New York Times also reported the influx of migrants has helped revitalize what was a shrinking economy in Springfield. And NPR reported immigrants have opened restaurants and helped fill labor shortages. And I'm sure that's true to some extent, but I don't think it's fair for any particular town, city, or state to bear the burden of an influx of migrants without help from the federal government, which is supposed to be taking care of this matter, and they have dropped the ball. It's clear.
Yeah, so look, here's what rational people should do. Let's all as a country come together on rules. What are the rules that we want? How can you apply for asylum? How many people do we want coming into the country legally? And then let's enforce those rules. But we don't do any of that. And the reason we don't do any of that is because, again, as always, politics is corrupt in this country. So a lot of businesses love undocumented immigrants because they use them as cheap labor.
Right.
So they don't want it fixed. If it was fixed, they would have to pay them minimum wage or higher, and they don't want to pay them that. So that's why they like the system broken. And so both sets of politicians, Democrats and Republicans, work for those donors. So they never bother fixing it.
Exactly.
And then both sides use it to demagogue. So the Republicans way more so on this issue. Oh, look at these people who are foreigners and different and look different and act different than us. I bet they're eating our cats and dogs, and that kind of insane, ludicrous demagoguery loaded up with racial stereotypes, okay? And the Democrats demagogue by going, oh my God, if you're not for all the undocumented immigrants or immigrants in general, that means you're racist, etc. And you could be, as I just explained, or it might be that you think, yeah, but I don't know that Springfield, Ohio can handle that many immigrants.
Right.
So let's figure out, how do we handle immigrants? How many? And what's the process? And what's the fair, just thing to do for them and for us?
Yeah, and look, let me just communicate this as calmly as I can, because I do want to understand where leftists fall on these very specific issues, right? So they like the idea of open borders, leftists do, not Democrats in general, clearly, but leftists do. How do you reconcile the fact that workers in this country, for the first time in many decades, had leverage to negotiate for higher wages because there was a labor shortage? So how do you reconcile that fact with the idea of open borders, where people would come in and work for far less and disempower American workers? How do you also reconcile the very real issue that we're dealing with, not just in Ohio, but all across the country, where there's a housing shortage, but you have a lot of people coming in and we don't have the resources to house them, the resources to ensure that they're taken care of, right?
Yeah.
All of these issues are difficult, and you're not allowed to have a debate about it, because if you do, you bring it up. It's not just about racism, it's also about how do we do this in a way that's fair to everyone involved, including American citizens.
Yeah, I don't even want to have that debate, honestly.
Why? It's an important debate to have.
No. I mean with the leftists, because they're irrelevant. Like if by leftists you mean someone in this particular case that's for open borders, that is not a legitimate issue. No one in America wants open borders. That would come out about maybe 96-4 if you did a poll, right? And I'm being generous to the leftists. So if you're actually, and I'm not saying all leftists want this, okay? I want to be clear. But for the ones who say, yeah, open borders, probably the same people who say no prisons, no cops, no one agrees with you. So you can have that and you can hate me, that's okay, that I'm not on your side. And that's totally clear. But the other people that are not on your side is the overwhelming majority of Democratic voters.
Right.
If you put it to a poll for Democratic voters, would you like open borders where anyone can come into the country with no laws? They would scream, no, okay? Forget the Republican voters. So if you're online and you think that open borders is cool and hip and hot, and you think that that's what the majority of the left thinks, you have no idea how tiny your bubble is, and the fact that you can't see outside of it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.